G'day, Doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. Sitting here awaiting Cyclone Alfred. Come say hello if you like. Hopefully, you can see everything that's happening here. Hello to everyone who's joined so far. Got some pretty big news that I've been told. I think people have sort of made mention of this recently. With a couple of posts, so people are sort of aware or that this was a potential thing to happen. But Sam Hughes, g'day bearded tech, welcome. Sam, like he has been ruled out. I think they've known for a few days that he wouldn't be playing due to injury. And Daniel Suluka-Fifita, I'm hearing, is like to start in round one versus the Dragons. He's likely to start. Sam Hughes will be out. And that is pretty big news. And congratulations to Daniel Suluka-Fifita, who you will find will be lining up round one against the Dragons, starting and adding a lot of punch. What we'll do is we'll go over. I did a feature on Daniel earlier in the year, trying to give some content out, keep myself busy during the shutdown period at work. Also trying to keep fans interested with stuff about the Bulldogs as much as I could. And we did a fair bit on Daniel Suluka-Fifita. So I'll give you some of his stats for those who don't know much about him or haven't really seen much. Obviously, he sort of put himself on notice a fair bit in that game, in that trial versus the West Tigers, which was the equivalent of a reserve grade trial with a few stars in it, him being one of them. He handled very well, played some long minutes, made 40 tackles. They said he had no missed, but that wasn't true. He did have a few. The statisticians, obviously, if you watch the game, you'll see he missed a couple, but he made a shitload of tackles. That's the main point. He did a really good job, and his ball carries were a feature as well. So I'll pull up some stuff about him that I can show you guys as well. But you know, he come across to the club last year. He was a player really in heavy demand, I guess you could say. A Souths junior. Roosters got hold of him, as they do a lot of the Souths juniors. Went back to Souths in a mid-season transfer. Was doing quite well. Had some good moments where he stood up to some players and whatever else. And yeah, he's a really good player. Dan says, huge for Daniel. Let's go. Thanks for the stream. Does the doggies proud, Suluka? Great opportunity for him, says Elaine. Shout out to you. And Bearded Tech says, make the doggies proud. I'm sure he will, mate. You know, Sam Hughes, it's sad for him because although some people say some annoying stuff about Sam, they've gradually got this guy building his minutes over a season, played 25 games last year. He is a big boy. There's nothing small about Sam Hughes. You know, and eventually he will bring an offload into his game. He will do a lot. He was quite good at closing up the middle, and you know, they increased his efforts over time. They've managed him well, but this injury, you know, and if it turns out that this is all wrong, I do apologise. No consequence for me. Bit of egg on my face, but I'm not assuming nothing here. I have heard a rumor from a couple of sources that I do trust, and but you know, everyone's got their own flavour of source, haven't they? So I don't like to big note myself, but you know, I probably won't get to jump on because I'm expecting to have no power for a few days and stuff like that. Be hoping to watch the game, but that may be the least of my worries come Saturday. So trying to divert my focus a bit, talk about the Bulldogs, and let's talk about Daniel Suluka-Fifita. Yeah, Steve, Hughes is injured apparently. I don't know for how long. I don't know what the injury is, but I do know I will find that information out, as will everyone in real time. But yeah, he's out. From I've got 99.9% say he's out injured. Daniel Suluka-Fifita will start. G'day, D. Getting nervous about Saturday, but excited to see the next man up coming and potentially doing the job. 100%. And I think that's one of the things that I've sort of been a bit disappointed about with the team that was named and then some people talking about the side that was named is that a lot of those guys that are in that side were named as next men up last year and did the job really well in a really productive period for the club, a really successful period. And they've been named again. And to that, they've added Satili Tupanero, who's they're paying $650,000 a year. Carraz is out of the side. They're trying to keep as much of the combination there as they can. And it's up for the guys that aren't picked, where you just need to assume that, they might be ready and they might, and some of them might have even deserved a round one start. But you have to have that mixture of loyalty and incumbency to keep things, competitive. And Cameron showed that he was willing to make changes, but for the most part, the injury has forced his hand as well. So I think that's what some of the doubters also sort of have in the back of their minds, trying to speak on behalf of them, even though I name and shame quite a few of them. Is that a lot of the people have got their opportunity has been through injury. So there you go. But we'll see what happens. G'day, bro, Adam. I'm you and the footy at the same time. Yeah, well, has the Broncos and Roosters started already, has it? Oh, it probably has because of daylight saving. Sorry, I didn't think about that. So yeah, we'll keep this short and sweet, but people aren't interested in that. I might play that on my other screen. Get some KO happening. Before you realise, cherish what you've got when you're about to lose it. But we'll see what happens. I want to talk a little bit. Thanks for that, Adam. You might hear it going in the background. Roosters versus Broncos. I'm tipping the Broncos by 8 points in a closer than anticipated game. Oh, I better turn this down. Broncos already on the attack. So there you go. So thanks for tuning in, those that have, and a few have left already because they probably putting the footy on that we're being starved, but that's all right. This will be there for everyone to see. Daniel Suluka-Fifita to start. There could be another change as well. People have talked about Blake Wilson potentially because he had that head knock, but it wasn't a category 1 or category 2. I don't know which one's worse anymore. I'm sure I'll hear about it tonight. And yeah, there might be some other changes as well, but I think this is the major change that'll happen. And they've called on some kids from, as I said in the podcast, from outside the top 30 as backups. Should one of the, should Montoya or Cherry or Crichton or Blake Wilson not be available, they've been able to elevate a Luke Smith or Jeffro Renikama. So we'll see how this goes tonight. I'm looking forward to watching this, and hopefully I'll be able to watch the Bulldogs. G'day, Scary79. Welcome, mate. So that is the news. Daniel Suluka-Fifita in. Sam Hughes is out. You'll find this is pretty accurate. What I'm going to do now is show you not the Roosters versus Broncos, but Daniel Suluka-Fifita. So here he is here. 192 centimeters tall. He's a big boy, weighing about 112 kilos. Or he might be a little bit less than that at the moment, maybe 111, 110. 25 years old, and debuted for the Sydney Roosters against the Gold Coast Titans as the Matraville Tigers junior. So he's had 35 appearances. Would have had a lot more had he not got those injuries. Played 3 seasons for the Roosters coming in, and then played 2 seasons for the Rabbitohs with 15 wins and 8 losses for the Rabbitohs. rarely started games, but look, he looked pretty fit, and obviously they want to give him as much opportunity to play as many minutes as he can. Hopefully we can retain possession, which will help him, and enable him to do some defensive work and then to make some good yardage from runs. And, post-contact meters, he had 5 tackle breaks in his 10 tackle breaks overall. Actually, have they got the combined amount there? No. Tackle efficiency, 92, 93%, which is pretty good for a big fella. Average running meters at the South Sydney. He played a lot more minutes at Souths, 86 meters a game. And look, he's someone who they expected a lot from. Was starting to him. He's only young, like he's only 25, and he's basically spent 18 months of that time on the sideline. So as a 23-year-old, having played 35 games, you would expect, by now he would be starting to hit that, 80, 90 game mark and probably be at the level of what you'd see a Terrell May as far as work rate and as far as impact on a game. That's who I'd probably compare it to. Many say he's a mini Payne Huss. He's a bit shorter, tiny bit shorter, and weighs about 4 or 5 kilos less. But in saying that, if he can play a good 35, 40 minutes in his first game, that'd be really good signs. Hopefully we get to sort of hold some possession, which allows him to just to do his job and do it well. Where he doesn't have to spend the whole time defending his line and stuff like that and burning himself out, which is what we don't want early in the season. Obviously want him to get through injury free and really put his, he's put it out, put his name right out there again amongst the full supporter base. Many supporters after seeing him in the trial wanted him in the side. I didn't think that would happen. I thought it would take a little while based on an injury opportunity. And that's essentially what has happened. There has been an injury. Beard Tech says we can go, so both stream and footy. That's it, brother. A star of the future he is, says Adam. G'day, Bulldogs and others. DFF will have a similar trajectory as Jacob Preston. Once he gets his shot, he won't be bundled out of the team easily. Mark, it's like talking about. Here we go. Look at this debutant for the Roosters, and this is a try. I'll tell you what. You ride off a home team. You ride off a side that's been told that they're not going to do any good, and they'll come out and ambush you. And I'll tell you an important stat about the winner of the preseason challenge. They've never made the finals, apparently. I think these fellas' last name's Toya. They were speaking about him a couple of days ago. Good pass by Townsend. He got the early ball, had a lot to do. And look at that Ben Hunt arm that he just threw out. Arthur's had a good crack at him. Robert Toya. Like, the only time I'd be sort of wanting the Roosters to win is when they're playing the Broncos or playing a team we need to lose for us to get in a better position. That's it. Fuck the Broncos. That's it. Try time. We're live. And trying to think about something other than the cyclone that's coming. But well done to Robert Toya. He did that on his own. Was a good ball from Townsend. But we'll see how long he goes for. Yeah, we don't like the Broncos. And hopefully they get their fucking pants pulled down tonight. Look at Ben Hunt, 35 years of age. That was his tackle to make, and he missed it. He missed a rookie. But this is what happens when, look, the Roosters have come out with some rookies and they've got a lot of bloody talent. I tell you that much now, that they're going to bank on, and so they bloody should, right? But this player comes out, no one knows who he is. Ben Hunt's like, oh, yeah, I got this fella covered. And look at this, bang. Little skip and bang. Well done. Well done to him. But fuck the Roosters, fuck the Broncos, and go the Bulldogs. But look, mate, there's lots of our young kids who might end up in the Rooster system at one point because they like to take the. So, you just got to respect teams, but it's really hard for me. I went and watched the 2004 grand final again the other night out of boredom and couldn't wait. And watching Michael Crocker drop that ball in the last second again was just a great moment. But let's get back to Daniel Suluka-Fifita. And I was talking to Mark, so let's go back to his comment. Jacob Preston went from reserve grade at the Bears to never being near a starting spot in NRL, and I can pretty much say that, to doing the preseason. And I have been told, and I said this before, he was already playing round one off the bench. That was a done thing. Like they knew that he was going to be picked. It wasn't through trial form. He was going to be picked. They knew he was going to go out there in the trials and just pull everyone else's pants down. Suluka-Fifita's trajectory. Suluka-Fifita has been. He's like the one of the players. If he didn't do that knee injury, that South Sydney would have probably been giving a lot of money to keep right now. They wouldn't have let him go. But he was just costing them on their salary cap while he was being rehabilitated, and they needed to pay money to Cody, and they needed to upgrade Latrell, and this just helped them out. This guy, look, I know holistically, Mark, you're trying to say that this guy is a potential superstar like Jacob Preston. Yes, I agree on that. But their pathways through the Bulldogs are completely different. We headhunted Jacob Preston. No one else did. He was headhunted by the Bulldogs for the specific things that he was doing as a player, for things that they knew he could do, attributes they knew that he had. And when they met with him and realised what a fucking champion he is as well, it was a foregone conclusion, and he was always going to start. And, they upgraded him pretty quickly after giving him that opportunity of 2 years. And you find a kid like Jacob Preston, they will move land and sea to keep within their system. Daniel Suluka-Fifita, I don't know if that's going to happen. He's got a lot to if Sam Hughes' injury means that he could be back next week and we win round one with Daniel Suluka-Fifita, that doesn't mean Suluka-Fifita retains his spot. There's a system they have. There's a way they go about doing things. But he might play so well, and this is what I fear also, is that he goes out there, we put so much pressure on himself that he comes up with a few mistakes and struggles. But if he goes out there, does his job, does it really well, hopefully a player like him, if he can do his defensive work, the stuff he does with the ball is not only going to inspire us fans a lot, is going to give good confidence to the whole team, because he is a big boy. He does make post contact. He can put on a good hit. He does show effort. He can be an enforcer. And as a club, if we're like next year, you've got a 4-prop rotation and depth that big with Sam Hughes, Daniel Suluka-Fifita, Leo Thompson, and Max King, then what do you let? Yeah, it's not all going to fit in, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens. But I think Hughes is with us until 2026. Suluka-Fifita is not. He's off contract. So we'll see what happens. I keep saying that. I really like Suluka-Fifita. I was very excited when we signed him, and I was very hopeful that he'd be someone we can get some value out of and then turn into the next Roy Asatasi for the Bulldogs. But as far as, effect he has on our club, a player like Roy Asatasi then leaves Canterbury and was basically, if he doesn't go to South, they don't win a comp. Try time. All right, so where we go now? I highly doubt CJ will go anywhere. I hope not, Elaine. I hope not. But he's all I say about, without knowing anything, these kids have got to do what's best for them and their families. And if they believe in what they're doing, the rest should take care of itself. And hopefully, we get to cheer on CJ for many, many years. Would be my wish. And he's scored a try in every game so far, which is really good. And he's the captain of that Harold Matt side, which I've said, looking at all the previous captains, I even look at a Morgan Harper, who was made captain of New South Wales Cup after sort of progressing quickly through SG ball and a side that did well, that made a semi, come into first grade, and they expected he would have been playing first grade. His manager knew he could get more money, wanted more money. The Dogs didn't budge, and he went across to Manly, and he's had he's had some good games. A lot of people don't rate him now, but he was a good talent of the Bulldogs. Dale Finucane, a former captain of the juniors, see how good he was. So captains are identified pretty early. They don't give that C next to their name away unless they're worthy of it, is all I'll ever say. It's not like we have a captain each week sort of thing. Oh, Lindsay's been busted open, and now old mate's gone off. Now Victor's hurt. Uh-oh. Finally got a live show. G'day, Dave. Thank you so much, mate. Hope you're well. It's pretty weird over here in Brizzy at the moment. But look, this will only be a quick one, guys. I want to get in there and watch the footy. Even if there's the Roosters and the Broncos and the Donkeys. But excited for Daniel Suluka-Fifita. Excited for the Bulldogs. And hopefully we can just hold that possession, give this guy a real opportunity to show his wares, and really have a good dig against the Dragons. And no matter win, lose, or draw, make us proud with their efforts. As I've said 100 times, and I've said it nearly every podcast, I was proud of this side. I'm always proud of them. I was proud of this side. Round 1 and round 2 losses last year. And, it turned around and they got things going. But there you go. It's getting very, very anxious for this cyclone first, and then just being pushed back to hit Saturday morning now. This is try time. It could be a high scorer match, this one, but we'll see. Thank you so much, Elaine. Go the Doggies, and I will stay up to date. Yeah, can't wait for Saturday, guys. Hopefully I'll get to watch it. I've got a heap of charges. I lost one the other day. Got a couple of others, luckily. And I'll be keeping them for my phone to watch the football. Forget about, essentials like, lights when it's dark and whatever else. Oh, there's a torch on my phone. Anyway, guys, well done to Sam Hughes. To Daniel Suluka-Fifita. And Sam Hughes, we wish you all the best with your injury recovery. And hopefully we get to see a good rotation of these players throughout the year in a positive way so that they're all fresh and firing to see us finish in the best spot we can finish in for 2025. Take care, guys. Go the Dogs. Go the Roosters tonight. I can't believe I'm saying that. But I'm sure many people have them, if they're gamblers or tipsters or whatever else, have got their money heavily on the Broncos tonight. If you're my friends, I hope you win. If you're not my friends, I don't care. Just rambling out, Stace. Thank you, Adam. I'll see you in the next live. Might even, if tomorrow while I'm nervous, might even do something on Jacob Preston. See how we go.